This image of the head of the Spanish Football Federation, Luis Rubiales, kissing Jenni Hermoso after the Spanish women's national team won the World Cup has been seen around the world, and now the player has accused him of sexual assault, according to the country's prosecutor's office. Let's welcome in Gemma Soler now from Spain. Welcome to the show, Gemma. What more can you tell us about the latest update here?
Well, this is the latest episode, and as you were mentioning, eventually the player Jenni Hermoso decided to file a legal complaint over that World Cup kiss against Luis Rubiales, and now he could be facing criminal charges. So this is another path to try to disqualify him and also to try to say that this was not appropriate to do that after the World Cup ceremony. And now he's facing three different paths. We can say it like this. The criminal court is what Jenni Hermoso has just decided to file this legal complaint. She was asked by the prosecutor's office to be a testimony, and she decided to do it now. Also, the administrative court, and this is the sport court, and it's doing as well, and they haven't been able to disqualify yet. And the international part, the FIFA, that as you know, as a caution measure, he's now disqualified.
And one thing we also know, Gemma, is that his closest ally in the controversial Spanish women's national team coach, Jorge Vilda, has been sacked from his role.
Yeah, right now the reality is that Luis Rubiales, if it wasn't for this caution decision by FIFA, he still will be in charge, not Jorge Vilda. And we can say that he's probably the weakest link in the Rubiales entourage, and he has been sacked because he didn't have any player to put on the squad, because let's remember that all of the squad have renounced to the national team if the structures didn't change. He also didn't have a staff. 11 of them have resigned, and that's what the Spanish FA, in an effort to try to prove the world, the woman, in Spain, that they are trying to change an old-fashioned structures, and that they were not working in a professional way. They decided to sack him and put his number two, Montse Tomé, the first woman ever in Spain's history to be a national coach.
Speaking of Tomé as well, then, will that be a long-term appointment? What's expected to happen here?
It's difficult to say right now, because we still don't know the reaction of the players. It's true that she's a woman. He was accused, Jorge Vilda, of not being enough modern in his methods and being very authoritarian with women. Let's see what she decides to do now that she's in charge. But there's the risk that what this woman were asking is, it was not Jorge Vilda to be sacked. It was the whole structure to be professional and to be, for example, as they have a lot, the half of the team in their club in FC Barcelona, that it's a professional modern structure with physiotherapists, with nutritionists, and a professional entourage. So it's not just about the coach that it's now there. And I say that because of one of the players, Laia Codina, she has just signed with Arsenal in a move from Barcelona. She said something like this earlier today in a Catalan radio, that it's not the name that is in charge, it's the whole structure. We are professionals, we are elite football players, and we want to be treated as a professional with a professional structure. It's not only about the name. So we'll see. They have to defend the fact that they are world champions in the next Nations League, and I think result and the way these defending champions feel in the trainings and in competition will decide the future of Montse Tomé.
Going back to Rubiales, Gemma, are we going to see him removed eventually? What do you think is going to happen?
Yes, I'm sure he will be removed. It's true that this is being longer than we expected, but the big difference between Vilda and Rubiales is that he's an elected job, and there are a lot of protections for governments not to interfere in this independent federation. It's true that the Spanish FA has proven to be absolutely old-fashioned and not living in the modern times we are. So I'm sure he will be removed and disqualified clarified at some point. As we mentioned, there are 3 different paths to try to remove him and make him pay for what he did wrong. That is a lot. What I'm almost sure is not going to happen is that he will resign, even though absolutely everyone in the world of football, in the Spanish FA, in all the Spanish society are asking for him to resign.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.